Hello everyone, welcome to Terra Angel Intuitive. This is Jess speaking, and so I was doing another message, trying to work on a different video for something else, and every time I would start that video, I kept going into channeling in the middle of it. So I decided to switch gears, come over to this message. Since Spirit is wanting to go ahead and give me something, because somebody in the collective really does need to hear what I have to say. So I pulled all my cards and I'm just getting ready and setting my camera up, and it automatically started without me doing it. So we're just going to roll with it and see what happens. For those of you that are new here, I want to thank you for coming, and those that are returning, thank you for returning. I am a psychic medium and I do intuitive reads, so my reads are a little bit different. I don't necessarily use the textbook meanings of the tarot and oracle cards. I go based on the messages that Spirit gives me, in addition to what I'm picking up on the pictures and the energy that I'm getting from the cards. So I've already cleansed the space, I've already been meditating, and these are the cards that I have pulled. So we're going to go ahead and get through with what's going on. So I have a very nervous and distracted energy that is coming across here. So it's definitely chaos. Very chaotic energy. I don't know which thought process where I'm going, and I am not even fully prepared for what I'm doing. I don't have any of my bracelets on. They're actually charging right now. Yeah, so again, I'm a bit all over the place right now. Let's just go, and hopefully my normal thoughts are going to come back to me once I get some of this energy out with what we're doing. Okay, so the first two cards that I pulled, let's see, I'm sorry, I got to find my book because I'm supposed to read it to you. Okay, so we started with this one, the Enchanter. And the second one that I was told to pull is the Shelter. I'm going to read both of them, but I wanted you to notice the two pictures that are right here. And the fact that they're both looking at each other in the same direction. I mean, they're facing each other, both with their mouths wide open. I've got a feminine energy and I have a masculine energy. So this is screaming to me that it is I'm hearing a divine union. This is something that is meant to be. So this may be a continuation of one of my previous readings that I did about the divine masculine not really understanding or knowing kind of the direction that he wants to go. And I am picking up on that same energy. So you may want to check that one out. But let's go ahead and read these cards and see where we're going, because I have so much anxiety right now, and that's not mine. My anxiety shows up differently. So when I'm channeling somebody that is very worried or very apprehensive, I feel it more like a tightness in my chest, and that's not how it shows for me. Okay, so the Enchanter, number 22. Oh my gosh, guys, I am so nervous. Okay. You are here to teach the art of authenticity, but first must find and follow it for yourself. Give others a reason to be true to themselves. You are learning to love unconditionally. You do this by accepting everyone's faults. No one is perfect. No one is better than anyone else. No one is more important than anyone else. No one's ideas or opinions are better or more right. By learning how to completely love yourself, others will follow suit. You are in your learning phase. You are removing fears and obstacles. This is what you will share with others and teach them about their own lives and what is on the other side. You have so much love to give. Give it freely. Your purpose is to explore every multifaceted channel of your existence and learn everything you can possibly learn before returning home. Help raises awareness, and it brings healing to so many people who are saddened because they are experiencing exactly what you are: suppression and fear to be true to themselves. All you'll have to do is share your story and it will change lives. In the meantime, learn as much as you can and experience exactly what you want. Do what you love and it will lead you where you need to go. Spirit in the universe will always have your back, and you always have enough. So do not act out of fear. Let go and trust that your path is designed for so much abundance. Trust it and follow it. So for this feminine energy, and I'm picking up that it's probably the viewer, it's probably you. I think the other one is not as far along in your spiritual journey as you are. It's important for you to be able to give yourself the love that this other person has not been able to give to you. Maintain your own boundaries. Don't settle for anything less, because you deserve everything. And there's no reason for you not to have the best. So keep loving yourself, keep focusing on yourself and your own growth, your own healing, your own path. And when you do that, if that masculine wants to be a part of your life, he's going to rise to the occasion. And when I'm using he and she, it's energy. It has nothing to do with gender. And for most of the viewers here, because this is a collective reading, this is a timeless reading, so when you find it, it's meant to be for you at that moment in time, not actually whenever I'm filming this. But it's important for you to realize your own value and your own worth. You know, it's interesting because, like I said, I feel two distinct energies here. So this feminine energy that I have is kind of impatient, is what I'm picking up on. Kind of there's a little bit of frustration due to being impatient in this situation, because this feminine energy really knows that it's important to step back, focus on herself. But she's been, she feels like she's been waiting for so long. Now, time in the spiritual world just doesn't exist. It doesn't have the same limitations. It doesn't have the same linear progression that it does in the 3D world. And so the feminine energy recognizes it and is just kind of tolerating to a certain degree, the impatience part of it, the time component to it. But when I tap into this more masculine energy, it's almost panicky. It's almost as if there is the masculine typically operates from a very, very, very confident state of being. But this energy is throwing him off. The connection is really making him question how he's been operating in this world. And it is, honestly, I feel like I'm on the verge of having a panic attack. Again, totally not mine. There's a shortness of breath. There's the rapid heart rate. There is, almost as if the sound around me, it reminds me of the teacher in Charlie Brown cartoons, where there's noise, but you can't, she's just saying the same thing. It's not even words. So it's it's very disconnected, blocked off. And so you guys are kind of in two different worlds, and he's not sure what is pulling him so much. As much as he's fighting it, he doesn't understand what's pulling him so much to that feminine energy. And I'm not gonna keep pushing into that energy, because it's not negative, but it's so chaotic that I am having a hard time focusing on getting Spirit's message across, because of the sheer panic and confusion from it. Again, nothing negative, but he just feels so off kilter with what's happening. So the feminine is a good energy right now. Balanced, kind of knows the spiritual rules, per se, of how the process works. Okay, let's read. Oh gosh, guys, this energy is hard to get through. Okay. Shelter. It takes time and work to heal, and it isn't always a one-time fix. You may need to return to the shadow and difficult memories again until your mind stops repeating the negative and instead transforms it into an opportunity for growth or learning. After you've let go of the things that you are holding down, you can persevere. So it's important to let go of any feelings of shame or guilt. Forgive the person who went through that. That person is no longer you. From there, think about what you'd do differently, but avoid thinking about what you wouldn't want to do again. Replace the memory with a new one. Picture yourself in that situation and consider what you would have done differently to avoid causing yourself unwanted experiences. Accept that you are a human being. Assume accountability and forgive yourself. Make the conscious decision to learn from your mistakes and accept that you have evolved and are no longer the same person. Allow yourself to let go of these emotions, since they belong in the past and you are now living in the present. Those emotions are not indicative of who you are. You may feel compelled to slow down and spend time in nature, meditate, or engage in a healthy activity that allows you to enjoy yourself. Okay. So that makes sense. So you guys may have been in a relationship. You guys may have been trying to start a relationship in the past, and there was some kind of miscommunication or misunderstanding, and it just didn't work out. But I think now, because there was time in between them, it's not a union right now. Okay, you're not together right now. If there is any contact, it's very superficial. It's very surface. There's not really anything in depth about what had happened. But this masculine has realized some things. There has been a shift in perspective. It feels as if there has been divine intervention and has changed the viewpoint of this masculine. And now he's realizing that he made a big mistake. He messed up. And now he's nervous because he realizes how good you were, how this relationship was almost what he'd been wishing for, what he was calling in for. And that's where the nervousness is, because he's all over the place. He's trying to replay things in his mind and where he messed up, and he's confused because he's usually such a good judge of character. He's usually right on point with reading the room. But somehow with you, he messed up so bad, he didn't see it. It's almost as if he projected all of the past relationships that he had, all of those negative qualities. It's almost as if he projected them onto you, which was unfair. And he sees it now. He is in remorse right now. And I see the flowers, It's almost as if he's wanting to gift them to you. She is shrouded in the green. She loved him. She may still love him. That green is representative of the heart chakra. She's still receptive to him. However, he has got to come right. He's coming kind of with anguish and what did I do to myself? How did I screw this up so badly? This is an anguished feeling. And she is kind of hopeful, yes, but she's still going to protect herself. She's vulnerable, but she's still guarded. And he's just wanting to come bare his soul. And it's interesting because this blue color is more of that, is associated with that third eye. So he has had a divine intervention, and basically God told him how bad he messes up. And he's realizing it. Because if you look at the number 1 here, he put himself first. He made himself a priority instead of listening to God or the universe or the creator, whatever that higher being is, however you name it. There's no adequate name for spirit. Gosh, he is in such deep remorse and anguish. And you want it. However, you're very apprehensive and on guard about it. You gave him your heart the first time, or the second time, or the third time. This is not your first rodeo. Okay, let's see where we need to go from here. So we have the tower moment. Yeah, yep. For sure. He realizes that he screwed up. He didn't listen to his intuition. Nope. And now he's just barely hanging on. He did not listen to his intuition. He knew, and he went totally against what Spirit told him to do. And now he's sitting in that moment. Really having to sit in that moment of just very heavy, very dense things. But it's almost as if it's what he needed, because he wouldn't have questioned any of his past experiences otherwise. he wasn't willing to go back there and process past relationships, past traumas. He was coming at everybody totally guarded and projecting on everybody because he didn't want to get hurt the way that he did before. Yeah, this is definitely a continuation of the reading that I had done yesterday. Yeah. Okay, so this poor guy. I mean, I don't feel bad for him. Okay, he made a choice. He clearly went against his intuition. But me personally, I know how hard it is to sit in those feelings. And I don't think he has enough practice or knowledge or experience and how to get through the healing process. And it's just hard, for anybody to be in that energy. But sometimes that's the only way you're going to learn. And he seems to be the type of person that is so stubborn that the only way he is going to learn and get out of his normal routine, because he's very routine driven, but to get out of that routine, it takes an act of God to change it and to change his mindset, because he's been burned so bad, or he's been burned so many times in the past. This guy had his heart ripped out. There's betrayal. There is I'm picking up narcissistic energy in his past. I'm picking up he was taken advantage of. He was belittled. His ego really took a hit. And so in him trying to protect himself from never being vulnerable like that again, he built up such a strong wall. And the only way anybody could get through it, because you gave yourself to him, maybe not necessarily physically, but you gave yourself your heart. You were open to him in a way that you aren't open to anybody usually, because you felt it, you knew it, you've been in tune with your intuition for a while now, so you knew this one felt different. But he wasn't willing to see that. He blocked himself off. So let's kind of see. This next set here is kind of I'm getting this as a timeline of what's going on. Like I said before, I don't always use traditional tarot meanings. And I love these cards because they are great story cards, even though it is tarot. So we have the Three of Wands negative. And if you look at him, it's almost as if reminds me of kind of when you are younger and you're outside and you just had a bad day at school, or you just are struggling, things are not going right, and you're just out kind of kicking dirt around and trying to, almost pouting, thinking about what happened and things went wrong, sulking, contemplating, trying to connect the dots. But if you look, it's dark and it's almost winter time. It's almost there's no life to it. The foundation he's on is kind of crumbling, and he just is. It's almost a position of defeat. And so that's where he's at. He's sitting with those emotions. He's sitting with the feelings that's going on. And he's really kind of looking at his own actions. This is the Seven of Swords, negative. He's just really seeing how guarded and protected he was. He was so protected that it's almost like he was so protected he couldn't protect himself. This is his own doing. His swords are chained up here. And to me, that orangish color reminds me of like rust. But it's interesting too, because that's also the color of the sacral chakra and the relationships. So he was so bound and determined not to be, or to protect himself in a relationship, or not be in a relationship. I don't think he was looking for anything to begin with, that he totally blocked off that sacral chakra. And you know, that is essential for relationships. So then we have the Ace of Wands, negative, right? And it's almost as if the feminine energy was trying to help him, trying to give him life, but he wasn't willing to do it. It wasn't a reciprocal relationship. He was taking from her and not giving anything in return. So what is she gonna do, right? Healthy relationships, there has to be reciprocation in it. So what is she gonna do? If she extended the olive branch trying to help, just to be there, be supportive, and he didn't want to take it, well, then she's got to step in and take care of herself. There's rejection. It's almost as if she was like, okay, well, if you're not going to come right, or you're not going to be there for me, or if you only want, you know, the adult activities, but not giving, you know, family time activities, not being my friend outside of closed doors, that's not going to work. I'm sorry, but you got to go. I value myself too much. But it's interesting because, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a picture in the background of a man, right? It's a memory, but there's a spider web that connects and a clock in the background. So to me, and also if you look, it's very similar to the same posture. Now she's pulling away here. This is what she did before. She pulled away, but there's still this spiritual connection here with that spider web. They're still interwoven, because if it's yours and it's meant to be yours, it will come back to you. But she had to pull away for her own self-worth, and I think that was part of her journey, her lesson to learn. And now he's coming back to her. She's still open and vulnerable. However, she's in a more protective state, in a more hurt state. So she rejected him, said, if you're not going to, you know, show or give me kind of what I need and reciprocate, then you got to go. And so he walked away, you know, left in the rain. And he realized that what he walked away from, because he was so guarded and protected from, was something divine. He went against his own intuition. So, these cards are so messy. So then what do we do? What's next? So then, you know, I pulled another set of cards. So, let's see where we're at. Oh, pride. So from this one, he was too prideful, right? But I take this more of self-respect. She respects herself. She's got this this crown and the swords, but she's protecting her own growth, because she recognized that what he was giving her, or what he was taking from her, was leaving her in this state of feeling depleted, of not feeling like she was being given anything in return. She stepped in to take care of herself. He wasn't giving her the flowers, so she gave herself the flowers. She loved herself more than he was showing her. And at the time, he may not have been capable of it. He didn't see it. He was stuck in a very, in a mental prison of his own making because he wanted to protect himself from everything. Victim consciousness. And she's got, it's almost like this shadow raven here. We've got, okay, I've got a snake. I've got like a shadow of a couple ghouls back here. There's something red in the background, but I can't determine what that is. But it's almost as if she has been divinely protected. She is using her power and asking Spirit to kind of step in and take care of some of these things. It's almost as if she's been working on clearing any kind of energetic attachments, cutting cords, cutting, you know what? She could have asked Spirit to step in. She could have done cord cutting because this is what was going on. And she finally realized that she had to disconnect. And once she completely disconnected is when he had that tower moment. And he realized, oh, I screwed up. So by cutting that cord, or just being like, okay, I release control of this, then the divine stepped in. So yeah, so she cut herself off. She put herself first. She came in to provide for her own needs. She stepped more into her masculinity to be able to provide what he isn't. She started filling in and healing the masculine energy within her, which has allowed her to step more into her feminine energy because it's more balanced. And this is where he's at. So he's having to face his feminine energy and step more into that and feeling the feelings that he's been avoiding for so long. But that's the only way he's going to be able to balance out that chaos. And I'm going to tell you now, I do feel much better and more grounded and balanced at this point in the reading than I did at the beginning. And the time clock was 33:44 when I looked at it a second ago. Yeah, he's here. He's really, really, really thinking about all the cups he's knocked over and broken while he was being vain and putting himself first and left himself in a state of spiritual poverty. So then, I asked Spirit, where do we go from here? What's next? And so what I have is, again, this is more of a timeline and how it came out. So we have the dragonfly. He's realizing a lot of things. And now he's recognizing that he has to take the time to heal and transform and kind of look at things from a different perspective, that he almost got knocked off his high horse to a certain degree. But that was the only way for him to get a new perspective. So this one is dating. And he recognized that he wants to maybe try it again. You have the option. You have free will. You can choose if you want to have another go around with this or not. You can choose to be okay with maybe once more, or taking it slow to see if he's going to change instead of jumping straight into something serious. That's totally up to you. You know, he wants to grow it. He wants to do healing. He wants to kind of wipe the slate clean. And for you to see that he's made changes. You know, because he's been looking at the situation from a new perspective. He could be watching your growth and seeing the changes that you've been seeing. And maybe he's been feeling them too. If you did not completely detach, if you held space instead of waited. And if you're still hopeful, because I do feel like there is hope for you, or not that there is hope for you. He wants to come back. I feel that you do want this, but you're guarded. He still needs time to heal. He's not ready. He's got to dig deeper and really decide for himself to make those changes. And, you know, for some of you out there, you got to give him the space. Because if you keep nagging him, that doesn't give him a chance to. You have to change how you interact with him, or else he's not going to make the changes he needs to. He has to decide this and step into a healthier masculine energy, because he wasn't operating from that. But there's passion. I mean, it's a divine connection. You felt it. He felt it. And that's what scared him. That's what scared him so bad, is because he knew it and it didn't make sense to him. But he didn't want to take a chance because he'd gotten burned in the past. You know, and he's looking back at everything. He's reminiscing. Really taking the time to go through and look at everything that has transpired. And taking account of his own actions and what's going on. He's going to come back and apologize. Because God has stepped in. Okay, so let's see. I have 3 cards about what advice Spirit has for you. Slow down and take your time. There's no need to rush everything. You're already doing your part. Trust that what belongs in your life is already making its way towards you in divine timing. Yeah. You keep loving you. Focus on your own self-love, self-care, self-healing, and don't accept anything less from anybody. He's got to meet you where you are, not you going to where he is. Okay. Resilience is one of the strongest qualities you have. It has gotten you through so many trials and tribulations in the past, and it will continue to do so. Lean on that inner tower of strength anytime that you need this. You've got this. And you know that you can reach out to Spirit because you're connected. Take some time to rest and rejuvenate. You need to pace yourself for the changes that are coming your way. They are all positive, and better things are coming for you. Just relax and trust. Just be in that flow state. You know, that's where the feminine energy needs to be. in that flow state, living in the moment. Find joy. Go out in nature. Find things that really make you feel at peace. You work on you, and he will meet up with you, especially if it is a divine union. And your spirit team is working with you. And if you're unsure about what to do, then reach out to your spirit team. That's what they're there for. They love you. They want the best for you. They want you to have love. However, it needs to be healthy. And if you're getting breadcrumbed, if you're feeling not good enough, if you're feeling used, if any of those negative feelings or the love is not reciprocated, then, it might be time for you to take a little bit of a break and reevaluate your wants and your needs, and if that is right for you in whatever relationship that you're in. And if nobody else is giving it to you, then you give it to yourself. You don't need anybody. You are loved unconditionally by spirit, but you have to believe that, and you have to love yourself first, and then that's what you will attract in. You attract in what you believe about yourself. All right, guys, so I think that's all that spirit has for me. Thank you for joining me. It was a bit chaotic at the beginning, and but this message really was supposed to come through for somebody. So if anything resonated with you, please hit the like button, the subscribe button. Any information about private readings is going to be down in the description box, and then I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much.